What's up, guys? Tambo here with your weekly core report. It's another monster week for Run Pure Sports members, including another Millie Maker shipper. Let's get to the winners. The World Cup continued to print for our members. Rubio and Jaime have been producing winning content throughout the event, and last week was no different. IPT 007 hit for 6K. K. Reed won 7K. Bobby Hare hit for 10K, while Rubio himself shipped another 16K. We pride ourselves in offering just about every sport for one low price. We'll put our content for all sports up against any competitor when it comes to producing winners. Steve Boynton has been on fire in college basketball, helping our members ship, as well as himself hitting for 2K. Jay Gingery 912 joined him, winning 3K. In the MMA streets, Hoop shipped for 30K using Titletown's playbook. And it's not just on DraftKings where we produce the winners. For prize picks this week, Du Bois hit for $500 and C. McDonald 1016 won $2,500 using our NBA prize picks content. Speaking of NBA, Jesse Samek hit for 6K while Mangone nailed his core and shipped for 8K. This has been a successful NFL season for Run Pure Sports, making people a ton of money. This week, we produced our second Millie Maker winner of the year. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already to access all our free NFL content. Our members' ROI has been off the charts this season. In week 13, You Should Be turned $80 into 8K. Motor City 2 DFW turned $50 into 5K. King of the North hit for 15K, and I finished in 6th place in the King of the Beach contest, winning 40K. But the biggest winner by far was RPS member Alicia Hunt, who turned $240 into over $1 million.
So typically what I do is I'll go over, the core plays, look at Big T stuff a lot. And what I did was I took bits and pieces of what I liked, and then I threw in some of the stuff that I like.
Congrats again to all our members. If you want to be featured in the core report, drop your winning lineup in the Members Never Win channel in our premium Discord. If you're not a member, join now. You won't find a better value, all sports included, for one low price. While you're watching, hit that like button now. Remember, if you're not winning with us, you're watching us win. Till next time, let's keep running pure.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday, and welcome to the DFS First Look over here on Run Pure Sports. Rocking my shirt today. We got some Run Pure Sports gear going on, some swag. What is going on? I'm Eric. We got AP. We got Lox. AP, how you doing today?
Doing really good. We got JSU on here. Haven't done so. What are we? Week 13? Week 13, right? Is that what we're on? Week 14?
Man, dude, I can't.
Week 14. Week 14. I should know that because I was sending the guys that do the gyms article schedules out, and I just sent that out, so I should have known that. But hey, we're week 14 in. I haven't done an NFL show with JSU, so I'm happy to see his mug on here. It's going to be fun breaking this slate down, early look. But yeah, man, coming off, I don't know about you guys, but I was pretty tilted about last Sunday. I was very high on the Jalen Hurts stacks, but my problem was I locked in Derrick Henry, and man, what a hurtful performance from him. The one side of that stack just smashed, absolutely smashed. But, Henry putting up 5 DK points absolutely buried me last week. But, we'll dial it in this week and we'll fire again.
Yeah, I was also over Derrick Henry last week, and at least I had one of those weeks where nobody on my teams did anything. It's more painful when you're close to cashing or you're close to a score, and then you get the one guy who puts up just a total dud. That's hurtful. When everybody on your team does nothing, you kind of just laugh about it. So that's where I was last week. Lox, how you doing?
Doing well, man. Doing well. AP's guy Sky Moore kind of let me down last week, but it is what it is. I played him at 3.1.
Wait, Lox. I wasn't on Sky Moore. I was making fun of that play.
No,
I had no
that's your
idea
team.
why people.
That's your team.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you.
but he let me down. I figured he could at least get me something. AJ Brown went off for me, Joe Burrow. So it was an okay week, but it could have been better. It is what it is. We'll move on. Injuries happen and that kind of stuff. So Aaron Jones killed me as well, but we move on and we pick winners the next week. That's what we do here. So looking to dive into another week with you guys.
You're damn right. We're going to pick some winners this week. It's our week. JSU, it's always your week. What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I don't know about always my week, but I was jumping on Crane. We didn't know where Crane was, and then Crane jumps on about 20 seconds before we're about to go. I'm here, guys. I'm here. So I'll host, but I figured I'd stay on, talk some football with the boys, and get the tournament first look feel. I've been on the show once, but I think AP wasn't on that time, so now I get the full tournament first look feel, and we can break the slate down a little bit.
I'll explain what happened. So, like JSU said, about 20 minutes before the call, I was nowhere to be found. I was absent, and you don't want to know where I was because I was actually busy. So this is what I was doing. I was sleeping. I was passed out.
You were sleeping?
I was
it's
sleeping.
11 o'clock.
Yep.
I thought, Crane, I thought maybe we
Wow.
were going to see like a lady sneaking behind you, little walk of shame in their undies or something like that.
Now
Are you
I can
telling
get
us-
behind AP. That I could definitely get behind.
Yeah, we got nothing like that. That's just not how it.
We got nothing like that.
No, it was a late night. I couldn't sleep. I had a lot of caffeine yesterday, and so I didn't fall asleep until about 2:30 Central. And I said, this show I always forget to set an alarm for because it's at freaking 10 o'clock Central, and I never have to set an alarm for 10 o'clock. And I had my alarm set for 8 o'clock, right? So I could wake up and do soccer. And then I'm hanging out. I check the Run Pure Sports Discord to see what people are saying about soccer last night. And I realized there is no soccer today. World Cup doesn't resume again until Friday. Well, shit, I don't need an alarm. I'm good to go. Okay. Good night. Play some games on my phone, do a little nothing, fall asleep. And next thing I know, I wake up to a text from our wonderful producer, Simon, saying, "Are you coming?" And anyways, here we are.
I mean, Crane,
what
seriously,
she said.
if that's your story, oh God, if that's your story, Michael Scott, if that's your story, then you need to change it up next time because you got to give us a better story than that.
Yeah.
I mean, just lie, become a liar. I'd prefer that and just us not believe the crazy story that you give and just give us a crazy story just for amusement purposes.
All right. So I met this chick at the bar.
No, you ruined it. You
Yeah,
can't
you
do it
ruined it
now.
already.
It's for next time.
Oh,
It's
man.
for next time. You got to be like Tambo and make things up on the fly, aka rehearse it in your room 20 minutes before you go live. You got to do that. In the mirror, he rehearses all his lines and stuff like that. So he has all those good sayings and stuff like that. You got to be like Tambo. You know what I mean?
Tambo's got all the things, man. It's like just
Yes.
listening to a machine. Like you just put something in the little AI thing and say something cool that rhymes about getting likes. And then something that Tambo says pops out. Speaking of likes, guys, click that like button, click that subscribe button. It helps us out over here on Run Pure Sports. It's 11:15 in the morning, man. We're running late. I am sorry, guys. I got the chat up, I got the games up, I got my DK account up so I can see some salaries. But yeah, AP, we're looking at week 13, and I don't
14.
know. There's a 4. Did I screw it up again? I've been up for 10 minutes, man. I've had no caffeine. People make fun of me for sipping on my 5-hour energies. I've had none of that shit today. So I'm probably going to say week 13 again. Anyways, AP, first look, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, first look, it looks like a fun slate. We got some decent totals here. Vikings, Lions. I mean, how many times has Jared Goff been in the optimal lineup?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been crazy. We have some other good games too. I feel like the Bengals are just gonna Deshaun Watson looked so bad. I don't know what your guys' thought are, but man, he looked really bad. I feel like the Bengals are gonna smash them. Cowboys are phenomenal spot. 16.5-point favorites against the Texans. I mean, that's going to be a defense we look at. We got the Chiefs Broncos too, which I'm obviously going to be watching, but I think everyone is going to flock towards the Vikings and Lions game. Just, first look.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, again, we got a lot of spots here. The Chiefs game, of course. We're not going to stack up the Chiefs game, are we? Like,
Is this going to be the chalkiest slate we ever see? What do you guys think? I mean,
maybe. I just know that we're not stacking up this Chiefs game because I'm not playing anybody in the Broncos.
Why are we stacking the Chiefs game? Like outside of why are we stacking? Why are we ever stacking the Chiefs? Is my actual question. Outside of just playing Kelsey and Mahomes, like who are we playing? I mean, maybe you could play Juju. I don't know. He's completely hit or miss to me. Who are we stacking? Like
well,
Sky Moore. People tried Sky Moore. It didn't work. Justin Watson. There's just too many guys. Jerick McKinnon comes in and gets a touchdown. You got Pacheco in there. I don't know who we're stacking with that team. I think we need to just start staying away from these teams that are either A, impossible to stack because there's just too many guys and they spread it around, or B, they just quit. Like the Rams. The Rams are a good example of a team I just want nothing to do. I tried to make Kyron Williams work last week. It was definitely one of my worst calls of the entire year. And I had no idea that Cam Akers was going to come out. And, obviously they flip-flop pretty much the snap count from week to week. But that's why I should just not play Rams. You just stay away from teams like the Rams, teams that are just quitting on the season. Denver, another example of a team, just stay away from. Well, why are we even picking Denver's guys? Why? What are we doing here? Let's just not do that. And at the end of the year, you'll probably come out better than if you were trying to pick the gem of those type of teams. So that's what I'm doing.
I'll tell you, it doesn't sound like JSU believes in the Baker Mayfield experience.
Baker Mayfield experience,
he's going to the Rams. Yeah.
No, I know where he's going. Is he? So what are we saying here? I should play the defense. Who are the Rams playing? I want the defense against Baker. Everyone hates Baker. Why are we messing with Baker? Locker room, and they're all going to hate him too.
You might talk yourself in because it's a Thursday night game.
Oh God, it's a Thursday night game.
It's a showdown
we gotta watch the Rams on Thursday night football. Oh God. All right. Yep. Well, that's better. Who are they playing? The Raiders? Is that the Raiders?
The Raiders,
game?
Yeah.
Oh baby. Ooh. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk some quarterbacks. Lox, I'm going to start with you because if you're wanting to pay up, we have the usual suspects. We got Josh Allen in a great spot against the Jets. So maybe not the great spot, but it's Josh Allen. You don't got to be in a great spot. You get Jalen Hurts, who's been absolutely on fire. Mahomes, of course, $8,000 at Denver. Lamar, he's going to be out for a little bit. So if you want to save a little bit of money, Huntley's an option. Obviously, people are going to go to this Lions game with Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins. Lots to like at the quarterback position this week. First look, what are you looking at?
Yeah, looking at a lot of different spots. You can pay up or you can kind of spend down a little here. It's just based off roster construction for the rest of it. But for me, right away, I go to Kirk Cousins. This week, for some reason, I'm just looking at Jefferson and Hawkinson. Hawkinson's got the revenge game. So I think Cousins is very interesting to me this week. That stack with possibly running back, obviously, a Amon-Ra or something like that. Super interesting to me. So a lot of interest in Cousins and Goff. Obviously, everyone's going to be going there. So I'd like to see the ownership once we get closer to Sunday. But just right away, that's what I'm looking at. Obviously, Hurts is interesting against the Giants. I love Joe Burrow again against the Browns. That guy's he's good. And he's obviously got the Chiefs number. He took down Mahomes again. So love him this week again. Really, those four guys are what's standing out to me right away. And then Huntley's obviously interesting at 5,500 against Pittsburgh. He's shown that he can play whenever he gets the starts, and he likes Andrews a lot. So definitely some interest there as well. Mute button.
Got that mute button.
See, I'll tell you what, you wake up 3 minutes before the show and shit just breaks. That's just how it goes. AP, you got guys like Mahomes up top. I mean, this seems like a tough slate, though, to spend up at quarterback because we've got Goff and Cousins, who are both going to be popular. We've got Huntley. Joe Burrow's kind of a tier below as far as pricing goes. AP, are you going to be able to spend up at quarterback this week?
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Hurts, he would be one of the first guys I would actually look at because, look, this Chiefs-Broncos, whenever these two teams play, it's like the game never nukes. And then when you look at the Broncos defense this year, they're good, man. Their defense is really good. It's going to be like, I don't know. I mean, if I'm the Chiefs, it's like get to 24 points and you're going to win the game. And with the Chiefs, they're one, like JSU said when we started the show, they're impossible to stack because, it's basically you play Mahomes and Kelsey. And if you try to do that this week, Kelsey 7-6, Mahomes 8K. I think I would much rather, if I'm spinning it up, I think I'd much rather just go Jalen Hurts. He looked really good last week. Not too worried about the Giants here. Gives us rushing upside. He was phenomenal finding AJ Brown, Devonta Smith down the field. So you can go right there. I think you could. I think this is a slate where, man, there's certain times where I'm fine running like an onslaught stack with like no run backs. I see the Bengals as a spot where you could do that this week. Joe Burrow, Chase, Higgins, that kind of core right there. We'll see what they do. We'll see if Joe Mixon's back, but you can make the case for Joe Burrow. Bengals look phenomenal right now. I think they absolutely pound the Browns this week. So that's a place I'm looking at. Now I'm mainly talking outside of Vikings Lions, because I think we would all agree that the Vikings Lions is going to be a premier game to target on the week. I got one kind of maybe it's a reach, but I like these Seahawks games have been printers. Their defense not very good. Geno Smith though, and his ability to connect with Metcalf, Lockett, he's been awesome. And so it creates a really nice, friendly fantasy situation for us to target Sam Darnold, maybe to DJ Moore. It's just that 5.2. Okay. And 5 point, that opens up a lot. So I don't know if I'll get there, but it's something I'm looking at in tournaments as a way to get different from this Vikings Lions game.
It's just tough for me to imagine Sam Darnold.
I know. Make fun of me.
I
hear you.
That's, man, oh man. I have not been awake long enough today to listen to Sam Darnold. Man, oh man. Oh my goodness. JSU.
You just mentioned Baker Mayfield.
Get on.
That is a good point.
Jesus Crane. I'll play Sam Darnold over Baker all day.
I'm struggling to think about putting Baker in a 150 on a showdown slate, and this guy's talking about a main slate over here. I'm struggling to click his name for showdown tomorrow.
I was jokingly saying that the Baker Mayfield experience didn't excite JSU. I am definitely not talking about him. Apparently, Baker's already been ruled out, by the way, so we don't have to deal with that decision. JSU, I heard the dog. He's excited about quarterbacks. Are you excited about quarterbacks?
Yeah, he was not excited about someone walking up to my front door. I'll tell you that. He told them to get away. But someone was dropping off a package, I think. Quarterback to me, as I just first look, Joe Burrow against Cleveland. I'm not going back to Joe Burrow this week. Cleveland looked terrible with Deshaun Watson. I said it last week. I don't know how people clicked his name. First game back. I know they were playing Houston, but Kyle Allen is not going to put pressure on that team. I kept trying to say it. It's going to be an ugly game. You want these matchups where these quarterbacks are going to have a chance at least to put pressure on one another, to force them into, moving the ball and being a little more aggressive. And when Kyle Allen does that, he turns the ball over. So it's like the worst possible spot just in general. And then you got a guy who hasn't played football since the preseason, where he played 2 drives or whatever it was, 2 series in the preseason, and hasn't played in forever. And people wanted to click his name and make him a thing because, in fantasy, he was really good when he was playing with the Texans. Well, there's been a while since that gap, and this is a different team, new offense. He's got to learn it all. He just got allowed back into the facility 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. we got to, temper our expectations on a guy like Deshaun Watson. Then you take the Cincinnati team, bringing them back home after beating the Chiefs. I just don't like the spot here for either side of the quarterback position. Now, I will like probably a running back from one of these sides when we get to that position for sure, because I do think Cincinnati puts up points. I don't like Cleveland to hang in this game. So I definitely am not going to be playing either of these guys for fantasy as much as I love Burrow. I'll be off of them this week. No Mahomes for me. Denver won't put any pressure on them. If anything, I could actually see it being more of a sloppy game. Honestly, Denver or KC playing a little down to Denver just because Denver's horrible. In Denver, too, it's always been a spot where they can give him some pressure. Like, their defense is solid. It's just their offense that's horrendous. So no Mahomes. So the guys at the top are really Hurts and Allen and how I decide to go about it. And I'd probably rank Josh Allen a little ahead of Hurts. Going down, I'm not going to play Kirk Cousins if he's going to be chalk. I'll just play a receiver. Like, if he's going to be chalk, I'll just play a receiver. Like, I told people I wasn't on Trevor Lawrence. I thought he was a terrible play at ownership. Like, if anything, if Trevor Lawrence isn't going to get ownership, play him this week. This is the week to play him. You got a Titans team that's a pass funnel. They're really good at stopping the run. The Jacksonville's, I think, only way or threat of scoring is going to be through the air. So if Trevor Lawrence is healthy, which he didn't practice on Wednesday, we'll see if he goes. But if he's healthy, I think this is the spot you play him if he's not going to be owned. And you compare him up with all those receivers that busted, or Kirk didn't bust, but Zay Jones did, and make it work. No Jared Goff for me. That game's going to be popular. I like Mike White probably a little bit more. We've seen him when their backs are against the wall and they need to push the ball down the field. Well, Josh Allen will put pressure on that team. He's going to at least put some points up. I think force Mike White to keep throwing the ball. And the other thing is Garrett Wilson is a stud. Like, that dude is just a stud. So whatever, I know we haven't gotten a wide receiver yet, but he is legit. Like, if they priced him at 6'5", I'd still play him. Like he is that good. And the fact that his ownership, now I just pulled it up, it's probably a lot of people were playing him because he was cheap. Now that he's starting to get up there, I know he's had 2 games in a row, but I'll be interested to see what the ownership on him shakes out to be. Mike White.
It's like Amon-Ra St. Brown late last season, when people failed to adjust to him. You could see that, I think, with Garrett Wilson.
Well, I think, too, it takes a while for these rookies to learn the offense. And then, obviously, the quarterback chemistry. There's clearly chemistry with him and Mike White. Like, it's very, very clear and obvious. He was the first quarter and like a half. Garrett Wilson did literally nothing in that game. Like, yeah,
I was feeling good about my fade for a few.
People were like, "Where's Garrett Wilson?" You know, they do the thing like, "Where's Garrett Wilson? Well, is he dead? What's he doing?" Blah blah blah, and then he just smashes. He honestly should have had a bigger game too. There were 2 different plays where I thought he could have housed them for touchdowns, and he got tripped up, but he got them like all the way down to that point where they could have punched it in. I think one of the times they did, one they didn't, but. He could have honestly had a bigger game than that, because there were a couple plays where he was close to just housing it. But yeah, that's how I see the pool as of now. I'm generally someone who keeps the quarterback pool pretty tight. I could see, my issue with Geno Smith is my same issue with like Joe Burrow. I don't really trust that Sam Darnold can push the ball. So if you're like AP, though, and think Sam Darnold actually has a shot, instead of playing Sam Darnold, I would just play DJ Moore and play Geno on the other side. Like, if you think that Carolina can put points up, whether it's Donta Foreman and DJ Moore, maybe instead you should be looking at Geno Smith as your quarterback and just playing the skill position guys that you like from Carolina, as opposed to trying to make Sam Darnold work and hoping he gets you 18 or 20. Just play Geno. Geno's been good. We know who to pair him with too. That's a perfect example of a team that you know the guys, that DK Metcalf, Lockett. When Kenneth Walker's in, it's Kenneth Walker. So yeah, that's how I would play that game.
All right, let's talk some running backs. Lox, I'm going to kick it off with you. You spinning up this week. If you are spinning up, are we going back to Derrick Henry?
You could go back to Derrick Henry this week against Jacksonville. I don't mind that. I myself, personally, looking at this right away, I don't think I'm going to be spinning up this week. Actually, one of my favorite plays is in that same game we just got off of is Deontay Foreman against Seattle at $5,400 to save some money. So that's one of the first pieces I'm kind of looking at here. I like Pollard against Houston, even Pollard or Elliott, really. I don't mind either one of them against Houston. Just looking at it, I think I'm going to be spending it in this mid-tier, low-tier type stuff. I don't see myself getting up to these guys other than maybe Henry. But I mean, Barkley, we got Davis back on the line for Philadelphia, so I probably won't play much Barkley this week. They looked good against Henry last week. McCaffrey, I could see going there if Mitchell's still out, so I could see spending up a little bit there, but I don't think I'll find myself getting up there. The guy that interests me the most is if he plays is Mixon. If he doesn't play, I'll be smashing Pirine all day against that horrible Cleveland defense. So just looking at it right away, that's where I'm going to be spending most of my money and trying to not spend up at this position.
Yeah, another guy I'm interested in is Mr. DeAndre Swift, and I've kind of been saying for the last few months that I would not play him this year, but here we are last week, got more carries than Jamal Williams. He looked obviously good, no injury designation. He's getting targets in the passing game. I mean, he's getting some red zone looks. Like, I don't know, AP, I think this might be the time to jump on DeAndre Swift.
I mean, yeah, I wish I could say I've gotten the Lions running back situation, correct this year, but it's kind of difficult. Jamal Williams always vulturing at the goal line. But yeah, Swift, I think he looks good. I think the way I see stacks in that game busting are as if these running backs go off. Like if Dalvin Cook has a big game, if we've seen the Lions multiple times this season where both Swift and Williams get in the box, that could be the case. So that's one path to where this game kind of busts. But man, running backs have been hurtful for a while now, and it's a position that where you have to just, man, you got to be really careful. You got to pick and choose where your guys are. I've actually captained working on a little project behind the scenes, just really analyzing the data behind running backs versus other skill positions. So it'll be interesting to see. But man, so here's the thing. We talked about there's a few smash spots. One, the Bengals. I think we all agree they're going to smash the Browns. I think we all agree the Cowboys are going to absolutely smash the Texans. I don't know, man. I think you can make a case to play like both running backs here, like Zeke Elliott, Pollard. We've seen in tournaments, we've seen scenarios where both guys absolutely smash. So I don't think it's out of the question. Sure, I think if you're targeting like a milli maker, I think it's better to do it in smaller field, single entry, 3-max type of stuff than a true milli maker. True milli maker, large field, you need the nuts in like every single position. And I think that's very difficult to do when you're stacking like both running backs. But in smaller field stuff, you could make the case for Zeke Elliott, Pollard. Obviously, I think we all like Pollard better between the two, but Zeke's price is nice. I think I wouldn't surprise me at all if they had like 4 rushing touchdowns here, split between the two backs. So that's something that you could look at. The other situation is this Panthers Seahawks game. Like the Panthers last week, I mean, they want to run the ball. Make sure these games don't get out of hand. Deontay Foreman, 5.4K, nice price tag there. Hubbard, he also worked into the mix too. 4.8K. Then we got Kenneth Walker on the other side of this game that I think we would all have some interest in him. So I don't know, like running back. I don't know about you guys. Like one thing that I am probably locked in on is like 2 running back builds, focusing on these stacking up 4 receivers is probably going to be my path this week.
All right, JSU. Actually, I'll tell you what, before we get to JSU, I want to let you guys know what's going on over at Run Pure Sports. Click that like button, click that subscribe button. That helps us out. We got spreads, NBA rundown. We're talking the TD show, NBA hardwood. We got final countdown, the World Cup content. They're off today. They're off tomorrow. It broke my heart a little bit because I was looking forward to playing this morning, but that has been absolutely crushing. Jaime's on there, Rubio's on there, and Big T's just crushing soccer every day. It's just a 20K screenshot. It's amazing. And then of course we got premium going on. You get the core plays, you get the playoff, you get the access to the Discord. And I keep telling you guys, the access to the Discord is worth the price of admission by itself. You get access to all of us. We're all hanging out in the Discord. Last night I was hanging out in the hockey Discord talking shit about my Blues winning. It's it's good times. AP, I know you're loving the premium chat. What are you seeing with that?
With the Discord?
Yeah, with the Discord.
I mean, I was kind of surprised to hear you say you're loving the Discord at times. I guess it depends. Like, we've built like a really good community. It's awesome. I would say 98% of the people are awesome. We still have those 2% that love to tilt. Like 10 minutes into a game, they're already tilting. Like my night is done. It's just crazy. So we appreciate the 98%. The 2%, get better.
Yeah, the 2% definitely get there. There are a few bad apples, but I think the bad apples usually hang out in the NBA chat. I don't see, like, in the NHL chat, I don't see them very much. You get the people now. You do get the people rooting against my Blues who are just rude, and I don't appreciate it. But yeah, it's good times over in the Run Pure Sports Discord, guys. Check it out. Honestly, we just keep printing winners, as they say. You can either win with us or watch us win. And lately, if you ain't been winning with us, you've been watching us win a lot. JSU running backs. Who you got, buddy?
Yeah, so just initial, I'm looking at it. Locks, I agree with him on the spend ups. The only guy I would think about would be McCaffrey out of all these guys. So for me, that like 7K and above, if I was going to do it, it'd be CMC. Joe Mixon, for sure, I would play if he's healthy. I would assume by now he'd be ready to go, pass all the concussion tests and stuff like that. But you never know. So we'll wait on that. Other guys in spots. I don't like playing two running backs from the same team. And I agree with AP. It's more of like a single entry, super small field. You think both guys are going to split work and both guys can get you like 15 to 20. But like you said, for the million makers and larger field stuff, I think you're wanting one of those guys to kind of dominate and get you the 2 touchdown day, 100+ yards, get you that 30 banger, and the other guy kind of fails. So I'll probably look at one. It's probably Tony Pollard. I just think he's better. But DeAndre Swift, I'll give it to, there was questions about him. I think it was more price. Some people were like, hey, listen, I think he could get more work. And I said it on the Up the Lock show, like, listen, if you think that his role changes, then play him. It's a cheap price tag. You can play him. His role did change. He got way more work than he has recently. And by way more, it was only like 50%, like from like 30%. So like 33%. So it was still a lot, but it's not like he got like 70% of the snaps or something like that. It didn't go that far, but you could see it trend up where it gets even bigger this week. So I'll definitely be him. Also, too, it's kind of leverage if you're not playing the quarterbacks, hoping the run game kind of gets there. If you're fading Goff, you're fading Kirk Cousins. I could make the case like, oh, play a running back and kind of take that as a leverage play off of the quarterbacks. After that, I would agree with the Foreman take. I do like taking guys against Seattle. Probably only do that in like million makers. Just he's getting a ton of work though, and they do just want to pound the rock. Another guy who could be sneaky, I don't know, it might be popular, but James Cook looked really good. It looks like he could possibly continue to get more and more of the Singletary work. And if that happens, he's 4,600, super cheap against New York, in Buffalo, could be leading maybe more of the run game, lean more on the run game. So I think he's someone to kind of keep your eye on as we kind of move through this week.
He's definitely better than Singletary. Like, I get that they probably
he's way better.
Singletary more, but
way
he's better.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, let's talk some wide receivers. AP, I'm going to start it with you because, obviously A.J. Brown coming off the big game last week. Stephon Diggs is always capable of a big game. Jamar Chase, buddy, I played you 16.7. Ain't doing it. I need a little bit more Monra. I don't know. That just flowed off the tongue in maybe the worst way of any name I've ever said in my
Tambo,
life.
we need a one-on-one session with you and Crane. I will pay for it, whatever your hourly rate is. We got to get you and Crane together so we can figure out all the. He's got to teach you the tricks in the mirror. He was telling me about it.
Tambo's hanging out on the beach right now, man. He's still out in San Diego kicking it.
No, I thought he went home to Canada where it's nice and cold.
Wouldn't you rather just stay in San Diego if you win 40 Gs?
I would definitely rather stay in San Diego. Yeah.
AP, talk to me about the wide receiver position, man, because we got some mid-range guys we like. Of course, we got some expensive guys we like. Justin Jefferson's going to be very popular. He's $9,000. I don't think I'm going to be fading Jefferson this week in this spot. It's just, man, the spot's just too good. What do you think about Jefferson and these other guys?
I mean, we started the show talking about quarterback stacks and how to get different. And, I was talking about ways to get off this Vikings-Lions game. But, man, like when you look at it, how is Amon-Ra not just like a lock at like 7-8? Like, I think that price tag is very fair, very
AP,
fine.
at least they finally priced him correctly for the first time in friggin' 14 weeks. I mean, it took them 14 weeks to price this man where he should have been for the last 6 weeks. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, 100%. And then DJ Shark, I think he opens things up even more for like Amon-Ra and everything. So I like both of them. And then Jefferson, like if you just have that stack and then with Goff, I don't know. I mean, that gives you a really nice build right out of the gate. So it's going to be tough to get off of that just when you think about that environment for fantasy. So, I mean, that's obviously a really good spot. Speaking of others, I mean, man, like Steph Diggs. So like the debate would be Diggs versus like some of those guys. I think I have to go Jefferson and Amon-Ra definitely over Steph Diggs here in a tough matchup. Gabe Davis, the price is nice, but again,
he's done nothing.
Well, no, I know, but he either does nothing or explodes. That's how he always is.
He's due.
I know it's a tough button to click is all I'm saying. Like I will probably play him because this is the kind of guy I always end up playing, but it's a tough one to click, especially when you see the targets the last few weeks.
When I talk like 4 receivers, I'm definitely going. I know it's a first look and this is early, but I guarantee I will have an Amon-Ra, DJ Shark, Justin Jefferson, and then my boy DJ Moore in the flex. I'll definitely have a build like that. Because look, DJ Moore, basically the only receiver they have. He's going to get peppered with targets, put up a nice score against, Denver. Very, very good defensive team. So if he can do it against Denver, he should definitely be able to do it with the Seahawks or against the Seahawks. But yeah, I like JSU's call, just like not going to Sam Darnold, just picking that one piece that is DJ Moore and then moving elsewhere, moving to the other side of that game. But I don't know, guys. Like I think it's pretty clear cut kind of at receiver this week, just when you think about what environments are going to be the best for fantasy. And, for me, it's the Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra, DJ Shark, as kind of a primary spot to target. And then looking for one other piece to complement that. And I like DJ Moore.
All right. So I've got Justin Jefferson. I've got Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Are you plugging it in to see what the...
Yeah, I'm just seeing.
I like that.
Because you have more salary than I do. So is Jefferson, Amon-Ra, DJ Moore, and who?
Just put like Kirk Cousins with Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and who else would they play? Probably Hawk, right?
Hawkinson.
That's probably who?
Hawkinson, yeah.
Hawkinson. So that's probably going to be a lot of people's base start when they stack this team, right? Or this game.
Man, y'all got some more salary than I do.
I was thinking Goff, Shark, Amon-Ra, and then Jefferson on the other way.
What about this? How about this? You just play, and this is how my mind works. But instead of all this, you just play Swift, Shark instead of Amon-Ra, and then you play Justin Jefferson because he's Justin Jefferson.
I like that.
Yep. That's not bad at all.
Yep, I'm fine with that. It's just,
or you play TJ Hawkinson instead of Justin Jefferson. You pray to God Jefferson doesn't have 200 yards and 2 touchdowns at the end of the day, and you pray TJ Hawkinson.
It's possible. All the revenge.
Yeah, I get the idea of playing Hawk and just trying to fade Jefferson.
So
I don't want to spend my Sunday fading Justin Jefferson. I don't want to do it.
I don't blame you, Crane. I don't like ever fading Justin Jefferson.
So Crane, you got 4,500 left per position. That's Goff, Shark, Jefferson, Amon-Ra, DJ Moore. Put in a cheap defense. I think you could make it work.
Yeah, maybe. That's tough. You're gonna have to find one of those cheap tight ends. Maybe you go to your boy Jack Stoll again.
Yeah, I went last week because I got bullied on our show. You know what? You know what, Crane? He was like the 12th best tight end last week. So suck it.
I thought he was better than 12th best. Are you sure?
What he put?
In the outcomes? Was that really 12?
I thought it was 12th. He was really close to a lot of others, but he also
Did he get over 7 fantasy points?
He was 7.5 or something.
How is that not top 10?
Because there was a lot of people. There was a lot of tight ends right around that number. It was crazy. Yeah,
really.
Not many tight ends were over 10 fantasy points.
I thought there were a lot of tight ends under that number. Like
I would have to go and relook at it.
That's wild. Yeah, if you told me my tight end got me 7, I would have ran.
I actually, Crane, I might go back to him. Like he was getting good targets last week. So and he missed one down the field, like a 40-yarder.
And nobody's going to play him because I'm ready.
All right. Cousins with Jefferson and Hawkinson. You got Amon-Ra. Then you throw in Foreman with James Cook at running back.
Gotta leave one spot, Locks. Gotta leave one spot.
What do you mean?
Gotta leave one spot.
Can't
give the full team.
You don't want me to give a full one?
You don't give the full team. You gotta leave one spot.
Then we got Elijah Moore in there. And then you can pick between defense and another flex or wideout.
There you go.
All right, done.
Wait, you said Elijah Moore?
Yeah, get him in there. Let's go. Cheapy.
Oh boy, right. Is he 3K? Oh, he's 3,500. Okay, yeah.
All right, Crane. One last thing. I like this segment. Put in Stoll, Cowboys defense, and you got 5.6K for your running backs. There you go. That's the winner right now.
Guys, we just built the winner for you. Congratulations. Yep. All you have to do at that point is play Lenny Fournette. It's
oh God,
Lenny Fournette. There you go, Uncle Lenny.
No, we're not playing Uncle Lenny.
I'm so tilted from that game.
I am too. Man. I played Shaheed, and somehow he got beat out by Cade Otton with that second to last touchdown. And who was the other guy? I actually had the Taysom Dalton build too, which was annoying.
I was pissed. I lost it by 0.2 I lost first. Unbelievable.
That was
I had the defensive team too in the big one, the one that was the one right behind yours, Locks, was the defensive train, and that would have been the winner if they got the touchdown. The guy's knee was down though, obviously, but so it didn't happen. But I saw you up there. You got like 4th, right? That team was in 4th.
I think I tied for 8th. I called the Rashad White captain too, and it almost came through. But the fumble costed me the extra half point, so I lost by 2.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you watch the game. Do you ever do the thing where you're like, oh, that's going to come back and bite me when they lose like a point or something, like an interception or something like that. And then you lose by a point and you're like, oh my God, that really did bite me.
Tilted.
All right, let's move on to some tight ends. And we've just been talking about the tight end position and how it has just been an absolute dumpster fire lately. If you get 8 from tight ends, you're doing great. There's a little Tambo line for you. But one of the ways to prevent having to deal with all those terrible tight ends, Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, TJ Hawkinson, maybe. Locks, I'll kick it off with you, man. Are you going to be able to spin up at tight end this week? Because just looking at my build right now, spinning up at tight end is going to be tough.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really tough this week. I mean, you can always get there, and Kelsey's the guy to get there with. The guy's basically a wide receiver, but I just don't think I'm going to get there this week. I'm going to be spending down that position just because I think looking at this first look, wideout's where I'm going to be spending all my money this week. I want to pay up for these wide receivers this week. I'm going to be in the mid-tier, low-tier for running back and tight end. It's looking like mainly. If I were to pay up, in all honesty, it's not really a pay up, but I'd be going Mark Andrews or Hawkinson this week over Kelce. I just like Hawkinson in a revenge game. We see all these revenge games. He gets peppered with targets still. He let me down last week, but I'm going back to him this week. So he's probably my favorite tight end of the week. There's other guys you can get to. Dulcich finally came back into action a little bit. He's going against Kansas City, so maybe we can go there at $3,400. You can go back to Jack Stoll if you want for AP. I don't know if I'll be running back that, but I'm sure AP will throw him in now. Mitchell Wilcox maybe at 2,700 with Hayden Hurst doubtful is interesting to me, just to save some money. And like you said, you get 8 from a tight end at 2,700, whatever, call it a day, move on.
Yep.
Spend your money elsewhere. So
yep.
I'll definitely be looking to save some money at the tight end position from the first look here.
I do think Cade Otton's going to be very popular after his game last week, just $2,800. AP, are you going back to Cade Otton?
I mean, I can't really say going back to him because I wasn't on him, but I mean, yeah, like he does look like he'll be one of the popular guys. 10 targets, tough to ignore that. So he'll be in the pool for sure. Man, okay, so I'm looking back at it. They are like some of the stats I'm looking at. Jack Stoll, three receptions, 3 targets. I'm telling you, he had a 4th one down the field. I don't know if they just missed that or something, but it was like 40 yards down the field. Or maybe the throw was just so far off they didn't count it as a target, but it was definitely a target. So I don't know. I mean, it could go the other way and I could get absolutely buried, but Stoll was on there. He looked definitely more active, kind of, in that not just as a run blocker. So he'll be in the pool. I'm not saying I like him a lot. I only played him last week just because of the joke from the show, which is kind of funny to think about. I'm just like, how great would this be to have a screenshot where Jack Stoll's in the winner, which didn't happen at all. So TJ Hawkinson revenge. How do we not go there? I mean, the target, there's going to be points in this game. He's getting peppered with targets right now. I will say 5.1K is always a price tag that is a little worrisome just because of the floor that the tight ends have, except for like your Kelsey's, mainly only Kelsey right now. And so it is worrisome. But yeah, I think I'm going to like some TJ Hawkinson this week.
All right, JSU, real quick at tight end. What are you liking?
Yeah, so I actually do think that this slate you can spend up. I personally like some receivers that are cheaper as I looked at receiver, and I don't really love to spend up running backs as much. So I definitely think that there's a case to be made to spend up at tight end, and I will do it probably on some of my builds. But to give some pivots to the Cade Otton, because I agree with you. If Cameron Brate's out, he probably will be popular again if he's out. And I got one dude that nobody is going to play. Well, I don't think anyone will play. And it's in this game where I actually don't mind the quarterback, but it's a situation kind of like what I was talking about AP with Geno and Sam Darnold, where it's like, I don't need to play the quarterback. I'll just play like position guys to get a piece of him. So I probably won't play this quarterback, but I like the other quarterback on the other side if he plays. And I think it's this guy, Chigo Kongwu, has actually gotten more work the last few weeks. He got 58% of the snaps this past week. I think it's trending more towards him, getting more involved. And if you see Tennessee, if Jacksonville gets up on him, I think it's even more him in the game. Also, if Treylon Burks doesn't play this week, I think it makes it even more that they need someone like Chig in there as a pass catching tight end, because the receivers aren't giving them anything when Treylon Burks is not on the field. So that's another thing that could make this an even better play in my opinion.
He's not related
to Treylon doesn't play.
Is he related to Nike Okonwu?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Onyeka Okongwu.
I like that call. I like that call.
I love that call.
I was going to freaking hop in before JSU and say that, but I was like, I'll wait.
Watch this over here. There's no way somebody's going to say Okongwu. I'll be able to jump in.
No, I was going to try and pronounce his full name too, out of respect for him, because I actually think he's really good. But then I just dropped it. Chigozie. I can't do it.
Just go Chig.
Yeah.
DK says Chig. Chig is good enough for me.
Chig it is.
I love that call. Probably my favorite tight end play of the week, actually, at 2,700.
I love it.
I like that too.
I love it. I cannot believe I'm going to end up doing my core plays on Sunday morning, and I'm going to end up putting in Chig Okongwu.
I'm putting in his full name if it fits. I'm putting his full name out of respect. Out of respect. Also, too, people will probably play the cheap tight ends, Crane, in the Cleveland Cincy game. So I don't know like what Kate Otton's ownership is going to be, but like Harrison Bryant and whoever starts for Hayden Hurst, I think it's the Wilcox kid. People will probably play a little bit of them.
Yeah, Otton's going to be the guy if he starts. Like, 10 targets last week. Everybody's going to look at that and play him.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, real quick. I know, Lox, you got to get out of here. Let's talk a little defense really fast. You want to save a little bit of money?
Defense is easy. This is
Cowboys.
the easiest slate ever for defense.
Cowboys.
I mean,
Right? I mean,
the
how do we not go
Cowboys at home
Cowboys?
against Houston. Is it
Lock
Kyle
the Cowboys
Allen?
and move on.
Is it Kyle Allen still the starter? Is he the starter?
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, just
Guys,
they
I'm
should
running
be
out of
4 or
money.
5.
I'm running out of money.
Lock the Cowboys and move on. It's easy.
All right. That's
Yeah, I
simple.
don't.
All right.
I'll give you another one, Crane. I'll give you one more. San Francisco against Tampa Bay and Tom Brady.
Where are you guys getting this money?
3,200 for 49ers?
I'm down here looking at the Panthers at 2,200.
Well, yeah.
I'm doing a little dumpster diving.
All right, I gotta go.
All right, Lox.
Y'all
it's a
finish out.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Bye,
Lox.
Lox.
See you, Lox.
Pleasure seeing you, man.
You too.
All right. We like the Cowboys. I like the Panthers. AP, any other defenses for you?
I mean, it's going to be tough to get off. We all hate the defensive position. Like, it's crazy. I mean, a 30-point defense last week, just insane. And the problem with like fading the Cowboy, like their defense is so good.
Chat saying Davis Mills is starting this week.
Oh, is okay. I mean, I don't know.
I still like the Cowboys.
I still like the Cowboys, and I think they're not even the most expensive defense on the slate too. So
yeah,
like, okay, the last time the Bills played the Jets, I played the Jets defense, but that was at home. I could see the Bills smashing them here, man. I respect the Jets defense. It's very good, but you know what? How many times do we see it where it's Josh Allen could come in and just absolutely smash them? So I can't go to the Jets. Playing away there at the Bills. So yeah, it's Cowboys for me. I'll be looking at the Bengals, but they're priced so closely to the Cowboys. The Cowboys just seem like a better spot.
Yeah, Steelers in a divisional game at home. I think you can play. There's a cheap defense for you, Crane. If you don't like San Francisco,
I bet the Steelers. The Steelers end up being chalk.
Probably. That's too cheap.
He looked good last week.
Yep.
I mean, it was against the Broncos.
He looked good when he played last year. He looked good.
He did. Yeah. I know.
Yeah, but it's still a cheap defense, and they're a good defense. So it's like, But yeah, Huntley, he can run, he can throw a little bit. Yeah, I mean, defense to me though, I don't know. Cowboys just seem like such a good play. I think you could, if you're looking at the spend downs and you're like, I got to pick one of these really cheap teams, I guess I would go with the Panthers, but I don't know. Like, that's just me taking a shot with one of those. Now, if Trevor Lawrence is out, do you guys like Tennessee at all?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tennessee plus Henry. That's what I was going to say. I'm definitely going back to Henry. Yep. I mean, he historically dominates in December. And look, it was a tough spot. The game script just got out of hand. I mean, the Eagles they put it on them, and there was no – I mean, it was pathetic watching that game, like absolutely pathetic. Like, they could not move the ball when Burks got when he got hurt. So, they couldn't do anything. They couldn't run. They couldn't do anything. Nice bounce back spot, though, here against the Jags.
Our boy
they could do one thing. Treylon Burks, when Treylon Burks was in, he got
that's what I was saying. Yeah,
yep. I'll say this too: if he plays, I'm in on Treylon Burks.
Yep.
Give me Treylon Burks if he plays at that price.
Yeah, Robert Woods sucks, man.
He's
good.
He's
the clear one. He's the clear one.
And you can tell too, he's starting to figure out the offense a little bit more.
Yep.
Starting to trust him a little bit more. He's starting to figure out the offense. Treylon Burks is in. I'm definitely playing a little bit of Treylon because
what about cheap. the other side of the game? I guess we didn't talk about it, but Tennessee's pass defense is so bad. I mean, Christian Kirk has to be in consideration too. I might just go back to that.
Yeah.
That stacking
I
that
talked
spot
about
up.
it. What do you mean we didn't talk about it?
Okay.
AP wasn't
My
listening to
bad,
me
my
when I was
bad.
talking about quarterbacks.
Thanks for listening, AP. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, I like it. I definitely like attack. It's a pass funnel, right? You can't
Yep.
run on
Yeah.
Tennessee. You have to throw the football, and if you like Tennessee players and you think they even get up, then they're going to be throwing even more. So it makes sense to me. Look at what Philly had to do. Philly could have
who's on high on Christian Kirk? Was that you, JSU? You were high on Christian Kirk to start the season, right?
Oh, to start, I love Christian. Like,
yeah,
I didn't do a ton of best balls, but the ones I did, I was drafting him a ton, and I love Christian Kirk. He fits in that offense so well.
Yeah, he's starting to look really good. So I'm in on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say too. Like, I know we've already talked quarterback a long time ago, but everybody's gonna be playing Cousins. Everybody's gonna be playing Goff. I think Lawrence, right in between him price-wise, is such a good play at 5,700. You go ahead.
What does Snyder call it? The flop lag? It's the flop lag.
Flop lag.
That's a poker term, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is an incredible spot for Lawrence again, he just can't be owned. If everybody's gonna play Goff and Cousins, in that range, Lawrence can't be popular. So yeah, I can almost guarantee. I know this is the first look show. I know that we got a lot of time before the slate starts. I know how I usually narrow these things down. I can almost guarantee Lawrence is going to be the quarterback on my main team this week. That's just.
Well, you better make sure he's in. Don't just lock him in and take a nap. Fall asleep through lock crane.
Man, I did that in hockey the other day. Like in my goalie, like there was he's surprised didn't start. And I would have played his backup, and the backup had like a 45 save shutout. It was just heartbreaking.
So with stuff like that though, if your goalie doesn't get in, I really feel like you should be able to still swap off the guy if they don't step foot on the field, the ice, like in anything. Like I know it locks, but
yeah,
it's like having a dude gets ruled out after the slate, like after that game, like locks, but it's before the game even tips off. You should be able to swap.
Yeah, I was not happy about you, Mr. Soros, for skipping that game. I just want to say that. And
you needed a break. You should have been ready. That's your fault, Crane. I put that on you.
Obviously, it's my fault. I took a few days off after that. I'm like, man, oh man.
Mr. Soros doesn't care about Crane's DFS lineups. He needed a break.
Man, yesterday they had that big $400. I had a couple entries in it, and dude, you should have seen how many times I checked on who the starting goalie was before the lock. I was like 10 minutes before the game started. No, I better check again 5 minutes before.
Well, that's because it was in your head from Mr. Soros. It was in your head.
Totally in my head, man. It was rough times. All right, that's going to do it for us on the First Look Show. It has been a lot of fun. JSU, man, you should join us more often. It's always great to see you.
Love hanging out with you guys. Yeah.
AP, a pleasure as always. Appreciate you joining us. Yep. And Jack Stoll, maybe this is going to be the week.
I like that other call, to be honest. 2 points. Our boy Chig. We're on the Chig train.
We're ready.
All right. We're going to get off here. For AP, for JSU, Locks, he had to head out just a few minutes early. For Locks, I'm Eric. For Simon producing, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch y'all later. Peace.